Hey guys, it's Stephanie Sinclair here, of course. And I was just sitting here thinking about how gracious life is and how we literally get to choose our experiences. I want to kind of go into detail without making it too much of a long story, but I was thinking about how my life has shifted. I remember my son will be 16 in a week from tomorrow. And I remember when my son was small. I remember when my son was born, and financially, I probably didn't have any business having a kid. And my best friend at the time bought him a baby bed and a mattress. And my support system really rallied around me. And for the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years of his life, I was trying to figure life out and figure business out. And I knew what life I didn't want to live, and I almost conformed to it, but it was so hard, like the traditional 9 to 5. It was very challenging, and it didn't feel good to me to, and I know people do this every day. My mom did it for me, but dropping my kid off and the sun isn't even out at daycare, and then picking him up in the evening and only having time to go home and do dinner and bathe the kid, get him ready for bed, and then I get ready for bed. It just wasn't working for me. I knew it didn't fully align with who I truly was at the core. But you do what you have to do as a parent, right? As an adult. I don't know if I wasn't a parent if I would, but as an adult, we should. And I think about all those years of trying to figure it out, even on the business end, and being on a computer all the time and taking all these classes and doing all these things. And it wasn't until I really grasped that nothing I was doing was going to work by itself. It wasn't until I grasped that the real thing and the only thing that I needed to concentrate on was my beliefs around me and money and our relationship, how we related to one another. And I'll even stick to how I related to money, because money mirrors you. And that's how we create the dance. And I didn't really get it, but I got it. Like, I felt like, okay, if I focus truly on building this business and having customers and clients who are happy to work with me and learn so much and change their lives, by default, mine would too. And that was 2013. That wasn't when I started my business, but that's when I had like the aha. I was like around 2012, 2013. Whew. And it was like within 3 months, I started to see a big difference. And I think about, from that moment, even seeing it play out in my life, of started making money, but I wanted to make more. I wanted enough to travel around the world. And for a year, I was like, okay, I got to get this business up so I can travel around the world. And then it hit me, ton of bricks. That had to be 2013, because it hit me like a ton of bricks in 2014. If you want to travel around the world, no, it had to be 2011, because it was 2012 that I spent the year trying to like save money and stack, and it wasn't working out. And so it was 2013 when it hit me. If you want to travel the world for a year, this isn't working. Once I'm making enough money to do it, then I'll do it. Because I also didn't have like a concrete number of what that looked like. I didn't know, really. Once I recognized, and I didn't recognize it until I had been doing a year of the other work, of just general wealth consciousness. Once I realized, no. It's not when you stack enough money, when you save enough money to travel the world. It's when you decide to travel the world and you truly make the decision and your physical body moves with it, your actions move with it, will the money show up. It was just like this aha moment that sung to me. And even though I had the aha moment, it literally took something in the physical 3D that was uncomfortable for me. And at the time, what it was is I was kind of back and forth at my mom's house. And I was at my mom's house at this time. And it was very clear, like, I can't continue to live here, but also I didn't want to leave and go get another apartment lease. And knowing I wanted to move and I didn't quite feel secure enough to do that yet, or that I wanted to travel for the year. And so it was that moment in July of 13, mom pissed me the hell off. And I was like, I can't anymore. Like, it's very difficult. I've been doing it, but I can't continue to be hurt in this way, which a whole other story in itself. And so at the end of July, I said, I don't have enough money saved, don't have enough stacked. But let me see what plane tickets cost. And then it was like, well, I don't know where I want to go. And I knew at minimum I wanted to do Italy. I wanted to do Bali, almost like my own eat, pray, love sabbatical with my baby. And I went online and I just searched everywhere in Europe just to see what popped up and what plane tickets looked like. And I saw that I could get one way to Sicily. Those of you who know how, like, it's been this whole, I'm back here. I've now bought a home in Sicily, like bananas. This is less than 10 years ago. I literally found tickets to Sicily for $300 a piece, one way. Now I had enough to get 3 tickets. And you may be wondering why 3 tickets is because I knew enough to know that I needed to take someone with me who could work with Caden around and homeschool while I worked during the day, because I wasn't going to be able to do that and try to figure business out. Like, it just wasn't meshing in my mind how, so I knew I needed to take someone with me. So I literally bought 3 tickets right then. And I got on, not Airbnb at the time, I got on HomeAway.com. Yeah, it was before HomeAway and VRBO were the same company. On HomeAway.com, and I found me a nice 2-bedroom house. Or was it 3-bedroom house? And it was like $2,000 for the month. And Stephanie did not have $2,000, but that was okay. So I contacted the owner, booked it, and they were like, as long as you send it to us before your flight. So my flights at the end of July were for September 9th. Well, I'm almost positive it was September 9th, right before September 11th. September 9th. And literally, I was like, that means I got to come up with the money. I literally did not come up with the money until the week that I was leaving. So much so that I was on the plane. The day I got the money was the morning I was flying out. So my mother went, I gave her the money, and she went and wired the money to the owners and then emailed them copies of the wire because they were not going to have it the same day. Thankfully, the owners were okay with that. And I landed, they picked me up. And honestly, my life changed after that for so many reasons. Number one, I had already been doing the work of around wealth consciousness, but also that was just another, but it was like the biggest tangible example that I had, that when I believe so much that I'm ready to hop out a moving vehicle or a moving plane because I know I'm taken care of. I believe so much that I bought non-refundable one-way tickets. I believe so much that I booked this house and told them I was going to pay them. And even though September 1st came, 2nd came, 3rd came, I still didn't have the money. I knew the money was going to show up, and the money showed up the day of the flight. My faith was so strong that all the things began to be created for me. So don't forget, I got these one-way tickets up out of here, right? I got these one-way tickets. But then a one-way, which means you need tickets to your next stop. You need tickets, like y'all got to eat food. Within 30 days of leaving, 30 days, I made my first $28,000, which to somebody probably feels like $1 million. It was my first time. I was like, oh my God. I literally did a huge quantum leap. My life has not looked the same since then. So then I had enough money then to leave there and get to our next stop, which we went to Pisa, this area called Casanova. And it's in the Tuscany region, and gorgeous area. And we were there for a month. So I was literally in Italy for 2 months. That next month, I made like 32,000. And then I was able to get us tickets from Italy to Bali. And for the first time ever, I was able to get business class tickets from Italy to Bali and experience something I had never experienced in my life. Was that level of luxury. International business class and first class is way different from domestic, way different. Just to be able to even experience that, right? And let's just say my life has not been the same since then. I literally learned that the evidence, it's waiting on me. It's waiting on me. And I learned that, I get to have all the things I want. I get to experience all the things I want to experience. I get to do that by making the decision and not playing around and being in the drama of I don't have the money to do it. Now, I'm using this as an example because this is the area I've mastered. I am still working on other areas for myself, like my love life. That is the area that I had the most wounding around and the most trauma. And so it's taking more subconscious reprogramming and more work. But I've been in it and doing it. And I've seen so much physical proof in the 3D of the work that I've been doing. Just took me longer to even make it something I cared about, to be honest. What I cared about at that time as a single parent was let's get this money. It was about that. Because this has nothing to do with nothing, but I believe if I'm broke, I ain't got no business even worried about partnership. Like that, I got to worry about something else because of that. So once I overcame that, I was able to have like a real sit down with myself, like, okay, Stephanie, what do you desire now? And that's been something more so in the last year, to be honest. It's just never really been a huge desire of mine. My desire has always been lifestyle, to live the life I want to live. And now that I've had success for so long at this point, and success is so easy to me, I would love a partner to share it with. And I would love to make sure that my childhood wounds and traumas are healed, so that when I attract my partner in, I'm attracting a partner from my healed place, not my wounded place. It's another reason why I don't believe in SPs, because when you are in a desperate space to get somebody, like they're the only place, you are absolutely manifesting from wounded. I don't care what you say, because here's the truth. And this is not what this video is about, but the only way you're in that space is if you have a anxious attachment, very anxious attachment, and you gotta have them. You are not healed. And so it's just been a desire of mine, like I said, the last year, to like rope back around and desire the healing so that I can have the family that my soul ultimately truly desires, right? And so I wanted to make this video to tell you everything's about the story you tell. Everything's about the drama. I was talking to a girlfriend this morning, and she was telling me like some stories she had and she's been working to overcome them. And I said, it's interesting because we really are attached to the drama, and we don't think of it as drama, because we think of drama as like fussing and getting into it with each other people. But when things go too well, we even try to find a problem. You literally have no limitations. And I'm going to do another video at another time, but I talked about this on TikTok. I don't believe that anybody cannot be successful unless you don't have the mental capacity, meaning you slow. I shouldn't have said it like that. I don't know. Like you have some y'all help me. Like mentally handicapped. That's what I mean. Like mentally handicapped. Or you don't have the cognitive reasoning in order to move forward. That's the only way I see that. But if you have the cognitive ability to read and comprehend, there is no reason that you can't, except for the story we've created, the drama, and the belief that for whatever reason, we can't. That's it. And the problem with that is we bought into the fact that there is a thing or people or group of people who stop you from, or people from where you're from, or people who look like you, or whatever it is. We create these stories. When you let that go, when you let go of the story that this is why I can't, then you'll be able to. You are so attached to that story, you can't get another story because you really believe that's true. And when we believe something is true, we find evidence of it being true. We really can have anything we desire. With my favorite mug that says, actually, I can. Fun fact about this mug, it has nothing to do with anything. My friend I was actually talking to earlier that I was telling you about, I went to see her in Florida, and like, I don't know what we were talking about. Actually, it's when I started my healing journey last year, or was talking about it. And I was like, actually, I can. And we started like walking around saying, actually, I can, like for anything you want. And we went in Target, and what mug did I see? A mug that says, actually, I can. And I felt like it was a sign from the universe to confirm what I can do and have anything I want. And so can you. Anything. The only limitation is the limitation within you, which sounds extremely cliche, but it's extremely true. And that's it for today. I wanted you to know. I guess I gave you a story time. I didn't really mean to, but I guess that's what you got. I wanted you to know you can shift things quickly. You have to move before the evidence shows. And many of you are looking for evidence that you should move. And the evidence won't show until you do. Thank you so much. Until next time.